going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort, and China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. We have Anthony Scaramucci on CNBC. And guys, we have inflation running wild. So again, they bring up Bitcoin versus gold. But if we actually take a step back, Bitcoin is still around the same price as a kilogram of gold. Do not forget, guys, we have gold in the human body, but I'm not even going to go over that. We know the central banks are stacking gold for a reason. When the central banks let gold go, then we'll let it go. But we know when it comes to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is for the robots, algorithms, and drones. And then Scaramucci says that Bitcoin could hit $500,000 based on its limited supply. Now, we know when it comes to that Bitcoin white paper, we know that Bitcoin for a fact could have scaled. They stopped that. That's the reason why we have all these altcoins. The central banks took over Bitcoin Core and created Bitcoin Lightning Blockstream. We know Blockstream is into the satellites and mining. Guys, they are getting ready for Skynet. Can Bitcoin hit $500,000 or $1 million? Yes, it can. Bitcoin Core labeled as a commodity early for a reason, alongside Ethereum, because that's what the central banks want to use. The fourth industrial revolution will send the masses into a virtual world where they become an avatar. And of course, they'll need a virtual currency. Nothing is real. Remember, your life is an illusion. TV is your reality, because we know when it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Let's start there. I'd like to hit you with a bunch of different topics, but we have had gold come back in vogue, if you will, as the debate on inflation continues to heat up. Does that form some competition again for crypto?
Listen, I'm never going to sell short gold. It's got a 5,500-year history of offering a store of value. But like everything in our society, when you get a technical property where there's a massive improvement, that has a tendency to eclipse things. And so, we had DVDs, Scott, and we moved to Netflix and streaming. The Satoshi Nakamoto white paper basically put us into a new era. And the technical properties associated with Bitcoin are infinitely better than gold. You can move it costlessly. You can store it virtually costlessly. And it has this ledger that is completely missile locked. You can't hack it. And so with 21 million coins and its scarcity, remember, we only have 65% of the gold mined right now. The shortage of supply, the technical properties, I think it's probably going to be 10 times better than gold over a long period of time. But for right now, Bitcoin is pacing what people like Michael Saylor and Cathie Wood are predicting that it will do. It will eventually eclipse gold. It's about a 1.2 trillion market cap today. Gold's roughly 11. But I think Bitcoin gets there, Scott, the same way we're using our smartphone today and not using a rotary phone.
Can they go? What do you make of the way the market reacted this week to the hottest CPI read in 30 years? In other words, if I said to you on Monday, look, we're going to have a red hot CPI print and we're still, possibly looking today to be up again for the week, what would your reaction have been?
Well, my reaction 30 years ago would have been very different. I mean, the market obviously would have crashed because of the way the monetary policy was set up 30 years ago. But today, I think the market recognizes that the spigot is still on for the Fed. The Fed really is painted into a corner. If you look at a Venn diagram of their decision making, there's really not that much they can do. They can taper on the margin here. They certainly don't want to wilt the economy. They're looking at labor participation rates and seeing how low they are. And so when you're looking at that diagram, the market, the consensus in the market, that calculus is the Fed's got the spigot on. The inflation is something we're going to be able to deal with. I can't put the money in the bond market because there's little to no return there. And so money's flowing into equities and higher growth names. And so none of that's surprising to me. But that's another reason why I'm telling people own a little bit of Bitcoin, because that's offering you an adaptive technology that's evolving. And then the second thing that it's offering you is a potential inflation hedge.
I hear you. Let me ask you lastly about Bitcoin, since we'll just bring it full circle. You advise people to buy it here, though, at 63.7?
No question about that. Scott, the weird thing is when I came on last year and spoke to Joe Kernan about Bitcoin, I think yourself on the halftime report, it was 18,000 a coin. I said we were very, very early. In the 60s here, I still believe we are very, very early. If Kathy Wood is correct, you have 1 billion wallets at the end of 2024 into the middle of 2025. These coins will easily trade at $500,000 a coin. Remember, you don't even have enough Bitcoins for every millionaire in our society to own one coin. JP Morgan says there's 49 million millionaires based on U.S. dollar fiat currency. You don't even have enough. And so for me, I think this is a very scarce property. This is a very, very early, Scott, for people. And I'm trying to do my best to explain to them why they need to own this right now.
Should have said 63.8, because that's where it currently sits as we have this conversation. Music's playing. We're out of here. We'll talk to you soon, Anthony.
Below 100, we're buying, brother.
Yeah, all right. That's it.
The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID 33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.